All right. Today I have with me Mackenzie Ewald, who is a Senior Assistant Director of Admissions at Wabash College. Mackenzie, thank you for joining me.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right. So tell us a little bit about Wabash, where it is, how many students are there, just any information you think, and why someone would want to attend Wabash.
Absolutely. So we are located in Crawfordsville, Indiana. So we're about 45 minutes northwest of Indianapolis. So I live on the west side of Indy. I have about a 45-minute commute to work every day. So we are a smaller town, but we really have a lot of the restaurants, a lot of chain restaurants, Walmarts, movie theaters, bowling alleys, a lot of really great parks as well. So if you're into hiking, fishing, we're a good place for you. We're also located about 45 minutes from Lafayette, so we're close to Purdue. And then we're also about 30 minutes from Greencastle. So we're close to a lot of other colleges and universities as well. And then, of course, very close to Indianapolis. So if you're looking for those shopping experiences and concerts and sporting events, we're a really quick drive there as well. We have about 850 students on our campus, so we are very small. We are a private liberal arts institution. Average class size of about 13, so that's probably even a little bit smaller than your high school average class size, right? One thing to note about us is we are an all-male college, so a college for men. Now, that doesn't mean we put a gate up around campus and say no girls allowed. We definitely have young women here on campus, definitely on the weekends and for sporting events, but it's very unique in the fact that you are in all of your college classes with only young men, just like yourself. So we're allowed to really dive in a lot deeper to different types of conversations. We have a psychology class, which is a really big hit around here, that is specifically for fatherhood. So if in your future you see that being a path for you, a lot of our students really do enjoy taking that class as well. But we talk about, deep things. One of our classes, the faculty members had mentioned, today we talked about incarcerated parents and death of a loved one and breakups. And I was in a classroom with 13 young men who were able to have these conversations with one another and really just talk about what that meant to them and how they were affected by it. There's really no other college campus where you're going to get that type of experience. So don't think that we're weird because we are all male. There is a lot of really great things that come from it. And like I said, we definitely have girls here on campus on the weekends. I'll dive in a little bit more. I'm assuming another question is going to be like some of the majors and minors that are very popular at Wabash. So we'll talk a little bit about that. But we are nationally ranked in a lot of areas. So we're ranked number 2 alumni network in the country, which is helpful for finding internships, making connections with our alumni network, finding jobs for you, just talking about your career path. Our alums are very happy to do that with the current students. We're ranked number 3 for top internship opportunities. So please, whatever schools you're looking at, ask them how they're going to find you internships and at what point in your college career they're going to help you get those internships. A lot of places aren't going to offer it until maybe your junior or senior year. Our students are having internships their freshman year, paid internships, and most of them are having 2 to 3 while they are students on campus. To kind of go along with that, we're ranked number 5 for career services in the country. So they're helping you find those internships. They're making sure that you have jobs when you graduate and you're not going back home to live with your parents and stay on their cell phone plan. Although I'm still on my parents' cell phone plan. But anyways, so yeah, we are just making sure that, of course, you're going to college to find a good paying job, right? So we are going to help you do that. We're able to do that because we're such a small school where everyone really knows each other and they know their goals and what they're wanting to accomplish. And there truly are people here on campus that help you reach those goals.
Yeah, that's very, very helpful to be able to reach those goals, find where you're going and what you want to accomplish, and then also just being able to have those conversations where you wouldn't think it was watered down or anything like that because you're trying to watch what you say with someone else being there. So what does Wabash look for in potential students?
Yeah. So of course we're looking at your academics. We want to make sure that you're going to excel here on campus like any other college or university. So when we're reviewing your application, we're going to look at a lot of different things. Now, there are schools out there that will really just look at your GPA. if they require test scores, but a lot of schools don't require test scores anymore. But if so, they will just look off at your GPA and test scores. I've worked in an admissions office where that's what we did, and we didn't look at any other part of your application really. Here at Wabash, we are taking a holistic review of your application. So we want to know absolutely everything there is to know about you. Anything you're willing to share with us, we will gladly listen. So we're looking at what you're involved in. Tell us, any clubs and organizations, sports teams, any leadership roles you have. Are you involved with your church? Are you involved in community service? We want to know all of those things. If you have a job, please tell us that too. Everyone always seems to leave out that they have a job. I love that about high school students when they're applying to college. I want to see if you have a job. So make sure that you list that. We're also, of course, looking at your GPA, and we're looking at what types of courses you're taking. So college is hard, right? Especially at a small liberal arts college where we're doing a lot of discussion. We're talking about a lot of things in depth. We're doing a lot of writing. We want to make sure that you're prepared to be successful here. So we're looking, are you taking those AP dual credit honors courses if they are offered in your high school? If so, we want to see those on your transcript. We also have optional letters of recommendation. So if there's a coach, a teacher, someone in the community, your counselor who wants to tell us how outstanding you are, I will gladly listen to them. Also, we do accept writing statements. So we would just want to see where your writing is. If you have a story you want to tell me, this is a great time to do that. But also, if there's just a paper that you feel like you really rocked in high school and you're very proud of it, you got a great grade, I'll take a look at that too. It doesn't necessarily need to be something that you start from scratch. So as an admission side, that's what we're looking for. But the students that when I meet with them, I really see that they belong here. One, of course, they're great academically, but two, they are taking part in things outside of just their schoolwork. And a lot of times, even just outside of their sports. I want to see that you do things outside of playing basketball or playing baseball or wrestling. I want to see you doing other things as well. I know you probably have very limited time, but if there's just even one or two things you can add to your resume, I want to see that. And this is a place, like I said, we're all male. So we are looking for true gentlemen to come here and be great citizens and really get involved with our community. So yeah, I'm just looking for you to be polite and to be a gentleman as well.
Yes, that's very important and sometimes lost more so than not. So as far as the admissions requirements academically, I know we're looking at holistically, but what are the academic requirements to get into Wabash?
Yeah, so we don't necessarily have requirements. I will say to be competitive for admission, you're probably wanting a 3.4 GPA. Reminder, we're wanting to see that you're in those difficult courses. Um, so like I said, we take a look at a lot of different things, but we don't have a specific GPA that if you don't meet it, you automatically are denied to the college. Just to kind of give you a heads up, our average GPA is about a 3.8 for students that are admitted into the college. And then our average SAT is about a 1260, with our average ACT being about a 25.
So it's very competitive there. It's you've got good students and good guys, good dudes, I guess.
Good dudes. Yep.
So you talked earlier about some of the majors that you do offer. So could you go more into detail about the majors, and then if there are any majors that require different admissions requirements? So, or if you just get into Wabash and you can go in any of those colleges, that's good. But if not, what are some of the different requirements?
Absolutely. So at Wabash, you just apply for admission. You list what major you may be interested in, but we don't have like a college of business and a college of sciences. It's all just within one umbrella here. So you apply and you're being admitted into Wabash, not a specific program or major. Again, we want to know what your interests are, what you think you're wanting to go into, because we want to get you connected to faculty members, alums, current students. We want to get you connected to the campus early on. But yeah, once you're admitted to the college, you're admitted to the college. Our students don't actually declare their major until second semester of their sophomore year. So that really gives you 3 semesters to explore a lot of different areas. If you're coming in thinking that you're pre-med, that's great. But maybe you get into second semester and you're in a really difficult chemistry class and you're like, maybe pre-med just isn't for me. And that's completely okay. We're giving you the freedom to find something else that you enjoy before putting down on paper exactly what you want to major in. Keep in mind, if you're going to larger schools and you're accepted into a specific program or a specific major, if you get towards the end of your freshman year, sometimes even the end of your first semester freshman year, and you decide to change your major, that could potentially already push back your graduation date. So just keep that in mind. But specifically at Wabash, I would think some of our majors that are really popular, we've always been big in pre-med and pre-law. We have a 94% acceptance rate into medical school for students that do choose to go that path. Now, when I am saying medical school, I'm talking about just all pre-health in general. So that includes dental school, PT school, OT school, basically kind of anything, again, under that umbrella of pre-health. And then for students that are interested in pre-law, we have a 96% acceptance rate into law school. So we do those two things very, very well. I will say that now the most popular area of study I'm seeing from high school students is, of course, business. Business is huge right now. You can do a lot of different things with business. Here at Wabash, we don't specifically have a business major, though. So keep that in mind. However, we can still get you there. A lot of students will come in and choose to study economics or financial economics. But again, you can major in anything. You can major in Spanish if you want to, and still we can get you on track to go into the business field. We do have a business minor, so students will pick that up. But we also have a co-curricular program for students that are interested in business. We also have one for pre-health as well. And then we have one for like public discourse. They are direct admit programs, so you apply in your senior year of high school. And this just gives you some additional business experience in college here at Wabash without having that business degree. Same for pre-health and public discourse as well. But with business being so big, 1 in 10 Wabash graduates goes on to hold the title of CEO, founder, owner, president, vice president of a company. That's 10% of our alumni network that are going on to do amazing things in business, and we don't even have a business major. So please still look at us because, as I mentioned, we will definitely make sure that we get you to your end goal in business. But yeah, I would say those are probably our 3 biggest areas of study.
Okay, yeah. So it's crazy how you can not necessarily go into business, but since you've got those connections and everything, then that can help you get into business as you go along. So just
it's all about internships. That
Mhm.
is like those are the most important things to you. It's definitely for specific areas of study. Now, like engineering, probably need some type of engineering or like computer science degree to make that happen. But there are so many things in this world where it's all about connections and not specifically what is on your diploma.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
No, yeah, definitely, definitely. And just those connections and that experience you've got. So with the cost of college has been such a kind of a hot topic lately. What is the cost to attend Wabash? And I've heard every single interview I've done has been, well, here's what it costs, but so give us the cost and then the why you won't pay that.
Yes, I will follow suit to that. So our tuition is just under 47,000 this year, and then room and board fees, everything comes in at about 59,000. Very scary number. We are a private school. That number is going to be large. Again, no one pays that. No one gets close to paying that. So, talking a little bit about scholarships that we do offer, when you apply to the college, you're automatically considered for scholarship money. Most of them you do not have to apply for separately. You would just get your admission letter should you be admitted, and you'll have your scholarship amount right there. Our scholarships range anywhere from $18,000 a year to $30,000 a year, based just off of your GPA test scores, what types of courses you're taking in high school. Now, we do have a few additional scholarship opportunities that can add on top of that. So we do have an honor scholarship, which is tied to an overnight event that we have on campus. This year, it's December 2nd and 3rd. It's usually that first weekend of December. But it's a really fun event. We usually have about 250 high school seniors and their families here on campus. But you get to sit inside of a classroom, participate in discussion, write an essay, and from there we determine additional scholarship money. This year, all students that attend are guaranteed a $1,000 scholarship with the potential to go up to full tuition. So we will give a few of those out as well. Any number that if you receive that $1,000 scholarship for coming, that stacks on top of that number I mentioned earlier, between 18 and 30,000 based off of your academics. And it's renewable each year that you're here, so all 4 years. We also offer our own Wabash Lily Award. So this looks different than your community lily, which you've most likely heard of, maybe applied for. Kind of the same idea, but it's only for if you attend Wabash, of course. There is a separate application process, an interview process, and then we usually choose 3 winners of that scholarship each year. But that is a very, very competitive scholarship because it's full tuition, room and board, everything covered all 4 years. And Mr. Powers, kind of as a heads up to you, if you are working with any young men who do receive the Lilly Award at your school, that pays for tuition at schools in the state of Indiana. I believe we may be one of 2, if not the only school in Indiana where we will kick in and pay their room and board.
Oh, nice.
So it would be a full ride if they do choose to come to Wabash. So like I said, I think we're the only school that does that in the state.
Yeah, there's very few that do that, if any. So that's a very nice additional little benefit for it.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I'm going to get you out of here. Last one. Just think back to when you were a sophomore, junior, senior in high school. You're going through this process. Obviously, you're much more knowledgeable in the process now. No offense to you back then. I'm sure you were very knowledgeable when you're in high school, but it's your job now, so you know a little bit more. What do you know now that you wish you knew back then?
Yeah, a few things. I think about this a lot, and that's why I went to a college with about 24,000 students. I wanted to work at a small private school just to see what all the hype was about. And now looking back, I realized I needed a place like Wabash. Obviously not an all-male school, of course, but I needed a small place where I was able to form connections with faculty members and the students in my classes. That did not happen at the campus I was at. So I think I would have done really well going to a place like this, but it was scary to me. I was very intimidated. I kind of had the idea that I wanted to go and just like blend in the back of the classroom. And I realized I just wasn't challenged the way I really wish I was. Another thing is, please look at private schools. I did not do that because I thought there was no way that my family could afford to send me to a private school. Now, seeing all of the scholarships and financial aid that are offered, I realize we probably could have made that happen. So take a look at those places. Don't let that price tag scare you. Explore it a little further and just see what your financial aid, that final number, looks like. And I think my very last piece of advice would be to go outside the box a little bit. Don't just go visit all and consider the schools that all of your friends are looking at. Your friends should still be your friends after you go to college, even if you go to a different school than them. So don't just follow them to a big college campus if that's where they're going and you want a totally different experience. It's completely okay to just do your own thing and just still stay in touch with your high school buddies. But then you're also going to have your college friends who are completely different than your high school friends. So yeah, I think that's my advice and what I wish I would have known back then.
Yeah, back when you were Mackenzie Livingston, right?
Yep.
Hey, thank you so much for doing this. I really appreciate you taking the time and just teaching us all about Wabash. It's a great school and offers so many opportunities. So we look forward to sending kids there. Once again, Mackenzie Ewalt, Senior Assistant Director of Admissions at Wabash College.